What's your name, man, and where you from?
My name's Debias. I'm originally from Chicago. I moved out here when I was 17 years old. I've done pretty much everything in my life except plumbing. Uh, I might make it to May 15. I'll be 66 years old. My housing came through finally after 2 years, and I'm pretty much happy. They got all their money. They put me in a pool. But the main reason I've been out here is because the Manitu police took my mobile home 2 years ago for no license and no insurance and did a felony stop on me.
How was your childhood growing up, man?
Not bad. Middle
Would
property, Chicago, Blue Island.
okay. Would you say you had both parents growing up?
Yeah.
Did you feel love growing up, coming up as a young kid?
Oh yeah. My mom mostly. My dad didn't do much of that. Paisano. He did his hard. We worked and everything. The wife didn't work. His older brother, 7 years older than me, Douglas, and a sister 4 years older than me, my sister Lori, and I was the baby.
What did you learn way too early as a kid growing up?
Hmm. The first thing I remember was they call it stranger danger, and I lived right a block away from St. Donato's School in Blue Island, where cars going around are offering you candy to get inside of it and stuff like that. And that's when I seen that car or whatever, and I went running home screaming at my mom, "Stranger danger, stranger danger!" But that was pretty much the only thing.
Okay.
It was Catholic school. You know, I had to grow up. It wasn't easy. Got in a lot of fights and stuff. I was considered a half breed because a lot of the Guineas that were coming into Chicago and stuff. I was only half Italian and half German, or quarter German and quarter Irish. So I went through a lot of shit with some of the people there, but it was just part of living. I really got no regrets. I know when I told the truth to my mom, I got a beating. When I lied, I got a beating. I told her that when I got older and everything, how crooked the cops were there, because it was the bias, setting me up with marijuana and I wasn't even smoking it, things like that. But that really bothered me. It was mostly, I have no regrets
Okay.
at all. I know when I came out here, I was run over. The doctor said I'd be laid up for a year. My brother and sister wanted to put me up, so I moved out here because I got an uncle in Denver, and my uncle Tilly was here in the Springs. They had businesses, so that's when I moved out here. And I was going to go back to Chicago because I grew up with everyone there, and I figured I can't trust nobody, and I found cool people here, so I stayed. And I've been to Florida. I've been all over, doing other jobs. But this is my home base pretty much. All my kids and grandkids were born here.
Would you say you do drugs?
Well, like I told everyone, I had long hair. They always say, you smoke weed and everything like that? I'm like, no. I said, you do drugs? I said, when I did, they did me. And they
Okay.
go, well, that kind of makes sense. I says, well, when the state took my dad away from me, me and my sister experienced heroin for damn near close to 2 years because it numbed us. And it's just another situation I got to get squared away with this Lana Milliman that took our dad away from us. And my sister, where the motel was, where you were standing interviewing the other guy, Fred, I think his name was, that was a place where she gave herself a hot dose and never had no record of drugs. My sister, she was 59 at the time.
Mm.
And that's kind of where it all started with that heroin stuff. But I told him, I said, it's the best drug and worst drug I've ever done in my life because it controlled me. What do you mean? I said, the best and worst drug I've ever done in my life. I said, I've done coke, I've done meth, I did a lot of acid back in Chicago, downers, quaaludes, all that stuff I grew up with and stuff. You go to the groves, like 4 finger ounces, acid, MDA, whatever you wanted. But it, like I said, I got no regrets. Even when I told my mom about when I told the truth, I got a beat and she said she was sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry, Mom. I'm glad we weren't born rich because
Hmm.
I'd be one stupid idiot
Hmm.
and not street smart. I've told some of these cops, I train you and your detectives too because you need a lot of help. From when I moved out here, I was 17. I had an IQ of a 23-year-old. Had
Hmm.
an older brother and a sister. I learned, I paid attention, and that's pretty much how it was. But throwing a rock through a window, went to jail and stuff, and another Debias. It was shit like that. But
Okay.
otherwise, and now he's Manitu Police, and he's Gold Hills Division. Sand Creek would have never done this to me. That's another division that's east of us right now. I've helped him out a lot. I've been involved with shootings here. I was a witness, things like that.
Hmm.
I have no regrets about that either. But the fact of the matter is, when I took my van, it was a tow truck driver even get in it. He had me look away and stuff, and I said, "You can't do that. It's private property," and drove it off. My mother's ashes were in there. The last pictures I had, Everything I had in her, okay? And but anyway, this guy let him take my van and stuff, and gold chains, coins, everything. It don't matter. And why they did this, I don't know. It was legal search and seizure. They violated every God-given right I ever had. I'm talking to Mo and Ma, which owns Mo's Cafe, and it's still there on the west side, on Becker's there. And my mom and dad, my Uncle Tilly, and everybody who helped out these police a lot. Just, did you believe this is happening? And pulling a gun on me too. I'm like, if I'd had a gun, I'd point my gun back at him. Because I said, you got the wrong guy, dude. Shut up! Get out of the car! With a gun on a misdemeanor stop.
What would you say scared you the most growing up, man?
Just how the police were in Chicago. And I came out here and I said, I'm gonna get my life together and change it. I got in some trouble back in '91, like I said, and I was good for 32 years. And this cop's still gonna, he wanted to arrest me so bad. And the more pissed off he got, the more calmer I got. And I said, when I can't do mind over matter no more, it ain't gonna matter. It's just, it took Manitu to bring the guy back. This is what I'm gonna try and tell you. That 17-year-old, all the years I've been here from 2 years ago, they took Manitu police to bring me back to that kid I left in Chicago. And that's not good. It's all bad.
What keeps you going when life feels unfair?
Just day by day.
Day by day.
My wife, I tell God and everything. When I almost froze to death over here a couple years ago, my winter, I said, I'm not ready yet. I got things to take care of down here with these crooked police and settlements and stuff. I said, I'm not ready to go up there yet, please. My wife was murdered in California in '87. And like I told her, when that's my soulmate, I'm like, whatever, you don't get over it.
Okay.
I got no justice in California. I hate that state.
I feel you on that.
Daughter was molested. Just a lot of bad things happened. Like, I'm stronger than I thought I could be. Let's put it that way.
What version of yourself do you miss the most?
I was always a nice guy. This has changed me in the past few years. They've stolen phones from me. Just people I've dealt with and stuff. These druggies smoking the blues, the fentanyl shit. I mean, that's got to be an end. It's got to put an end to that.
What did you lose in life that still hurt to this day, you feel like?
My wife.
Your wife? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Want to go into detail what happened?
She was cut off on the highway, California, Modesto. We're going to meet in Florida. I told her, me and my mom come out there and we convoy out there. She said, no, I'll meet you. And she just happened to be cut off by some guy, and it's just, it's not good.
Is there a moment you wish you could redo in life?
I really got no regrets. It's like I told my mom, I'm glad we weren't born rich. And like I told the police, I said, I'm street smart. You think you're smart? I'm like, no, I only made it to 9th grade. When I had to move out, I was only 17. I wanted to go back there and get my education, but I started working and haven't stopped since. So I screwed my back up in '93, working a high-rise in Colfax in Denver, and I went out a 4-story window that some guy pushed me.
Who do you feel let you down the most in life?
Gold Hills Division and Manitu Police, them 2 police departments that brought the bad guy back out of me.
Okay.
I'm a joker. I always try telling jokes and stuff, but joking's over with. I can't.
What's one thing you want the people watching this to understand about you, man?
Not all the homeless people are bad. It's not what they pick. It's not their life.
All right, that's going to conclude our questions for today, man. I appreciate you for taking your time out for this interview, man, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Thank you for being here, and my hands are going numb. I got to pack up my stuff.
All righty, man.
That's it there. Brian, his situation's a little different too, but I don't want to take up so much of your time, but...
All right, man, I appreciate you, bro. You enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Thank you.